Chapter 9. The map indicated that he must travel to Troms, where the last spear symbol and the number 4 were written. Upon arrival, Robert was surprised. The city had been hit hard. He never heard of Troms so much as receiving a scratch from the creatures. It was so well guarded, but then again, Robert had been absent from civilization for 15 years. In the fires, a man stood with his hand outstretched, completely ignoring the pleas of the people around him, begging for help, to which Robert placed his spear. The man said, "This is the final leg of your journey. Let the plight of this town that you see here today force you onward with your training, and help protect this land when you are done. My name is Fier. Let us end your training." Robert spent the next 5 years training the skills surrounding the spear in the great city of Troms, rebuilding and defending it when necessary in his spare time. It was the first time he was with his people, and by people, I mean people that aren't strict masters of their arts, that seem to solely exist to teach Robert the ways of the soldier. End of Chapter 9. Chapter 10. Robert learned to love the people he was around, and the people called him Bob rather than Robert. Earl told him, "I think you just sound better when you're called Bob." Robert liked it, and when he met new people, he introduced himself as thus. Fier's training after 5 long years had finally come to an end, to which he said this: "You are now the strongest soldier this province has ever seen. Use your power wisely, and you shall end this war." Then, to his surprise, all the masters materialized in a line beside Fier, and smiled. Mael even nodded slowly at him, to a voice behind him said, "Why are you crying, Bob?" "There's no one there." The 4 masters vanished, and Bob knew what he must now do: return to Ragni to save what little is left of it. End of Chapter 10. Chapter 11. Bob then spent the remainder of his life serving as Wynn's private demigod, destroying all creatures that ever came to a settlement under his protection. He did not pass on his skills, in fear that they would not be used for the greater good, which troubled him. For if he were to pass, who would replace him? Certainly not his 3 companions, the animals which he loved dearly. Perhaps he would brew them a potion, prolonging their life. They were good animals after all. Bob's story quickly became a huge beacon of hope for many fighting in the war. No one could defeat Bob and his dark weapons. However, this is where the story becomes myth. I'm afraid for after the events of Ragni's 56th horde, and some 40 years down the line, at the ripe old age of 72, Bob vanished. End of Chapter 11. Chapter 12. It was rumored he heard of a beast corrupting the province, promoting the war and increasing the strength of the monsters. I imagine Bob probably sought to destroy it, but in his old age, perhaps he wasn't up to the mark. It was then, though just 1 year after his disappearance, Bob's tomb appeared in the snow, marking the place where he was buried. By whom? No one knows. Perhaps it was the killer, or maybe it was his master's magic. It still lies there today, holding his body. It is worth a visit. Many have told the great adventures and magic that surrounds the place. One thing is for sure, Bob truly was the master of the Wynn arts, and will forever go down in our history as the mightiest soldier. Perhaps, one day, someone will follow in his footsteps. The end. Alright guys, sorry it took so long to get the 3rd part out. I think we took a couple of weeks break in between part 2 and 3. But that's it for the Bob's lore room. If you guys have a lore that you guys want me to check out and read, or even if you guys have some fan-made lores, because I've been taking a look into some of those, and some of those are pretty cool. I just want to read some more lore later on, I guess, so let me know what you guys want me to check out, or if you guys know of a lore on the forums that you want me to check out. But that's going to go ahead and do it, though, for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have been Hippie, and I will see you guys next time.